Hello, welcome to my cycle syncing Notion template. I like to keep track of my cycle on a month to month basis just so I know what to expect for the different phases of my cycle because each phase comes with different energy levels, different activities that you should be doing, just different symptoms and behaviors that you may have. So I created this template so that way I can keep track of my cycle, and then along with that, you can also take it a step further and you can make certain meals based off of the four phases, and you can have specific workouts that you do during each phase. So this is just kind of my overall cycle syncing template that I have created. And on the side here, we've got the glossary, which has all of the different areas, and each of them hold the databases that create this homepage where everything is kind of pulling the information from. So as you can see, we've got a weekly view, and it shows you just the whole week for what period day you're on. So down here I've got the monthly view, and this is just kind of a guess based off of my previous periods of how my month is going to be. So as you can see, I started my cycle on the 28th and it lasted until the 5th, and then I went into my follicular phase, to my ovulation, and then my luteal. So my next period will start around April 4th. So how you put this together is you just click into the day and you hit the plus sign, and it brings up this new page, and I just click down here for what my next phase is going to be. So the next phase will be my menstrual, and then it auto populates all of the information that you need. It tells you what your main focus is. So during your menstrual, it's a good time to focus on analytical tasks, solo projects, reviewing data, goal setting, and it's best to rest, walk, stretch, gentle yoga, meditate, and take baths. So it tells you your main focus for that phase and the main activities. So I just come up to the date and I click it, and I hit this end date toggle, and then your period should last around 3 to 7 days. So I will just click a week out, and that is the menstrual phase. So now you can see we're in the month of April, and it filled in that phase for all of those days. So then you just come in here and you click the next plus sign, and then you would hit your follicular phase, and again it puts in all of the focus and activities that are best for that time, and you would again just put in your end date. So I use this monthly view to kind of guess what I think my period is going to be like. But then when you come up here to the weekly view, this is where you can put in the specific day that you were on during your period. So you can come in here every day and you would click and you would say you are on day. So you can come in here and you could say that you are on day 10. And then you would put what phase you're in. So right now I'm in my follicular phase. And then it fills in the energy level. So right after your period is when you have your highest energy. And you can really put in your temperature like first thing in the morning. When you take your temperature in the morning, it helps you to figure out when you are ovulating, because your temperature rises when you're ovulating. And then down here, you can fill in how your skin's doing. When you're on your period, you're more likely to have breakouts, and when you're ovulating, you're more likely to have clear skin. So you would just click any of these that fit, or you can always type in any other ones that you think would fit, and then you could just create those. You can fill in any symptoms. Were you productive? Were you social? Did you have cramps, headaches, mood swings? You can fill in any of those, so you can kind of figure out how you're feeling on each cycle. And this is where you can put in your flow. It's more for when you are actually on your period. You can put in if you're having a heavy or a light or a medium type of a flow, but you can also use it if you're having any discharge, because when you ovulate, you are having discharge. So TMI, but it's truth. So I like to use this week view to just have it be day to day, so that I am keeping track of every single day what phase I'm in. This monthly view is more of just a guesstimate. So I do it for the whole month, and I will use the weekly view to kind of base that off of it. So this is a quick chart to give you all the information about the 4 different phases of our cycles. So the 4 phases go hand in hand with the different seasons of the weather, and it tells you activities that go with it, your energy levels, what you're best to do task-wise in each of the 4 phases, your hormone levels, the best things to eat. You can use the seed cycling. It can help you with your hormones because it has certain nutrients in them that help produce certain hormones that you need during those cycles. And then this is just kind of how your skin will be during the 4 different phases, because every phase is different in how your body reacts. So this is just a quick little reminder of what to do with the cycle tracking template. So you first estimate your monthly period, and then you can use this to fill in your daily feeling, mood, all that type of stuff. And then you can use this to plan your week and month for meal preps, and you can plan it for your you can also use it to plan your week and month of workouts. So we'll drill into all things food. This is the all things food page. So here we've got our meal prep by week. You can do a meal prep by table, and then your weekly cycle view, so you can kind of click back and forth and see where you're at on your current cycle and base your meals off of that. So down here, I've got it broken down by breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, and snacks, and what is the best thing to eat for all of the different phases. So breakfast, eggs are good to eat all the time because eggs have so much nutrients, but if we go to something like dinner, so for dinner, when you're menstruating, it's good to eat a lot of red meats because they have a lot of good fats and proteins that are good for you when you're bleeding. And then when you're in your luteal phase, it's good to eat turkey. So you can see on the chart on the homepage what is good to eat for certain things, and you can always, of course, add whatever recipes you want on top of that. You'll just give them whatever tag they need for breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, and snacks, and then they'll just automatically show up here. So for example, if you drill into those beef bowls, I've got the status of done because I've already created it. It's best to eat during your menstrual phase. It's good to eat for lunch and dinner. I like to keep track of my protein because protein is very important to help build muscle. So I like to keep track of protein, carbs, fat, and then the total calories per serving. And I love beef bowls, so this is a 4-star for me. And then this is a link to the recipe on Pinterest. But then over here, I just have quick ingredients and instructions so that I can just come to this page and know exactly what to make. So if you want to create a new recipe, then you'll just click here for whatever phase it's for. You'll click whatever course it is. And then if you don't have to fill in this information, you don't have to, of course. You can always hide any of these that you need, but you can link it, you can rate it, and they will all show up in here depending on what tag you give them for the phase to eat. So you will just say today's Monday, and then you can click here and it'll pull up all of your recipes. So you'll just want to look for the ones that say breakfast, which the only one that I have right now is eggs, and then you can see that it's for all the different phases. So you could say you're having eggs for breakfast. For lunch, let's say we're in our follicular phase, we'll have some honey glazed shrimp. And then for dinner, we'll look more for follicular phase 1, and we'll have a chicken fajita rice bowl. And that one has 40 grams of protein. So if protein isn't important to you, then you can just, hide those and delete that property. But I like to keep track of my protein and make sure that I'm hitting it. So this is just kind of how I fill out this part on a weekly basis so that I can keep track of my protein and just know what I'm going to make each day. So here you can see what you're making and your protein total, and then you can just fill that out for each day of the week. And then you can see it here too in a table view, and you can always filter it and sort it however you want it to show up. So if you only want to see for the week, then you can just filter it to show for this week. And then this is the weekly cycle view, so you can see like this whole week you're in your follicular phase, so you really just need to focus on eating recipes that are during your follicular phase. So over here again, we've got the glossary. The recipes are all the recipes. You've got your meal prep, which is just this database in here. Your grocery list is just a quick to get list, so there's just items with a checkbox, and you can just check them off as you purchase. them at the grocery store. And then spices, I put my spices into like a little glass jar. So I just like to do this because I can put the expiration date and keep track of that and check on it and see when I need to change out my spices if they expire. This is the All Things Fitness page. It's pretty simple. We just got 2 databases, one for the workouts and one for planning your workouts on what days you want to do them. So that database comes into here. So just like the food, we've got a tab for the weekly cycle view so you can see what phase you're in. We are in the follicular phase, so we'll want to do workouts that are related to that. So you can come down here and you can see that I've got a tab for each of the different phases. So in our follicular phase, it's good to do dance class, lifting, Pilates. During your follicular phase is when you have your highest energy, so really you can do anything. I always like rest for all of the phases because it's always good to rest our bodies if we are tired. But you can just come up here and say, today on Monday, I'm feeling really good. I had a good weekend, so I think that I want to do an upper body lifting day. You'll drill in here and you'll just say Monday. And you'll click your workout and it'll tell you what is the best thing to do for each of the different phases. So we want to do a upper body lifting day. And it tells you the impact, if it's high, medium, or low. So lifting weights is very high impact on your body, so it's a high impact. So then you can just kind of plan out your week and see, what different workouts you want to do. And then I have just like a quick little fitness goal box here so that I can remember what is important to me with working out. So it's pretty simple, nothing too crazy, but it's just when you are talking about a cycle, the most important things are how you feel each day with your period, your energy levels, and with energy levels come working out, because working out, moving your body is always the best thing for you. And then eating foods, because the different foods that you eat can affect your period, and you can eat things at certain times that are more beneficial for your hormones and just for your nutrition overall. So this is just kind of what I built. It's pretty simple, nothing too crazy, but I think it's just very important to always make sure that you are taking care of your body and very in tune with yourself, because no one knows you better than yourself. This is made up of 3 different databases. We've got the 4 phases, we've got the daily tracker, and the monthly tracker. So the monthly tracker is where I guesstimate what I think my period's going to be for the next month based off of just my knowledge of my period. My period lasts typically around 5 days, and I know that my follicular phase is probably around 8 days, and then my ovulation, I just know when I'm ovulating. I don't know, I can feel when I'm ovulating, and then I, put in my luteal phase. So the more that you start to track your cycle, the more you'll know the different phases that you are in. So I use this to kind of guesstimate. And then I've got my daily calendar, and that is where I put in every day what I know I am in my phase. You can really know if you keep track of your temperature in the morning. That's why I have a little place for your temperature, because when you're ovulating, your temperature rises a little bit first thing in the morning. So that's how you know that you are starting to ovulate. So you know when you're in your period, and then you know when you're ovulating, and then you can just kind of fill in the 2 follicular and luteal phases on the, in between those gaps. So in here is where you fill in your daily, and I just keep track, day 1, 2, and I put what phase I'm in. And then you can also just fill in more information, symptoms, skin, that type of stuff. So again, you can put your temperature, you can put how your skin is, your symptoms, and your flow. So this is the main page for all the databases that hold all the things for your period. So we've got the monthly view, the daily view, and then I put them in table view because it's easier to edit in table. And then here is again the database for the 4 phases and just some quick information about it. And then down here I go into more depth about the 4 different phases, what they mean, what you're going through, how you're feeling, and just the 3 different hormones that females have and what they each mean for us and how they play a role in our lives. So that is my all things period page, and all things period, fitness, and food all linked together onto the homepage so that you can use all of those interchangeably, because your period is what helps you to define what you need to do when you're eating and when you're working out. So I hope that you enjoy my all things cycle tracking template, and let me know if you guys have any questions and I'll be happy to help.